Please open your eyes. Ever since we started webcast, I have not done any guided meditation. I've completely stopped because I somehow feel I can control the people in front of me when I do a guided meditation. I will not be able to do that at webcast, and certain spiritual processes have to be respected. I don't want somebody having coffee in one hand or probably sitting in that home theater, this thing, and me doing a guided process. So it's okay. So I've always held back, but today I want to do it. Of all the guided processes, I know a lot of people prefer the ICANN process. There are people who prefer the death and the rebirth process, and these are all guided processes. But of all the guided processes, the confluence of spirituality and science happens through a process which I really think has been one of the most potent processes that we have ever practiced, but I have not done it for a very, very long time. It's called the Purna Shakti process. Purna means absolute, entire, complete. Shakti is energy. Let me first discuss the scientific side and then come to the spiritual side. The left side of your brain is the logical side of the brain. For everything, it needs a logic. So, if I tell a left side of my brain, let us say one of you right now is earning 50,000 rupees per month, and you tell yourself that somehow by the end of this year, I will ensure my monthly earnings is at least 2 lakhs. A lot of self-doubt will immediately get created because your left brain immediately evaluates and finds out that it has taken you 12 years to grow to 50,000. How in 12 months it will become threefold, 50,000 to 2 lakhs. So it cannot happen. So the moment internally the self-doubt is created and it rejects this as a possibility, then the possibility is rejected. Then there is no way it can happen. So you say that I want to build a $1 billion organization. And your logical mind immediately goes back and finds out, but nobody has done that in your industry. When nobody has done that in the industry, how you can do it? So it's not possible. So the moment it concludes, then the whole thing gets eliminated. So one of the challenges a lot of us face is not lack of opportunities or lack of resources or lack of competence or lack of capabilities. One of the greatest challenges all of us face is lack of belief. Your inside does not believe in your goals. And as long as your within doesn't believe in your goals, you cannot achieve any of your goals. You really cannot achieve any of your goals because, and this is how your left brain will operate. It needs logic for everything. Anything you say, it will immediately go into the logic. For it, 2 plus 2 can only be 4. If you say, I am going to make 2 plus 2 6, immediately your left brain will knock it off saying that 2 plus 2 can never be 6, and it eliminates the possibility. There's a right side of the brain. Right side of the brain is your creative side of the brain. It's the crazy side of the brain. The right side of the brain is what enjoys grandmother's stories. It really believes everything. It's crazy. It believes in magic. It believes anything is possible. It believes even we are born to be great. And right side is fascinated about it. It believes in fantasizing. It believes in fantasies. It believes that I can decide and achieve, go after anything. Anything is possible for me. I'm going to change. Your right side of the brain will actually convince you can change the world. Your left side of the brain will convince you you can't even change yourself. And we all fight both. We all fight both. That is why there are times when you're alone. or when you're with a little child which will not judge you, the creative side of you makes everything possible. The moment you're in a group and you're with people who judge you, you get very conservative in your thought process, in your expressions, because it's a collective left brain and everything is evaluated and everything is judged. So historically, how we all have lived our life is, there are a set of people who use the right side of the brain and create visions. For example, Steve Jobs was a classical person where he was able to use the right side of the brain and come and say, I want this type of technology. Now, he didn't have the left side of the brain to create it. He didn't know how to create it. But he will simply dream. So how organizations or the world have always operated is that somebody will dream using the right side of the brain, and hundreds of thousands of people will come together using the left side of the brain to see how it can be achieved. So you call it as R&D or you call it as the operations team, and they will all work together. So for every idea that is created by the right side of the brain, hundreds of thousands of millions of left side of the brain will work together to see and achieve. So when Narendra Modi says, for example, when Narendra Modi says that 2022 everybody in India will have a own house. So 1.2 billion people collectively use their logical brain and say it's not possible. If 1.2 billion brains can think together how to make it possible, it's possible. But logically, we have been trained to use our brain to say it's not possible. Our beliefs are a huge problem. So when Abdul Kalam says by 2020 we'll create a new India, new India. Old India, new India, whole thing is discounted. Immediately the whole thing is, right side of the brain convinces a Rajinikanth or Kamala Hassan they can be the next chief minister. Right now we have lesser voters than the number of people who dream of becoming chief minister in Tamil Nadu. Okay, everybody thinks they can become a chief minister. Right side of the brain. Left side of the brain is what sits in this talk show and talks limitlessly saying how it's not possible, how it's not possible. Then who would have believed MGR could have become the chief minister? Then who would have believed that Jayalalitha could have become the chief minister? Who would have believed Deva Gowda could have become the prime minister? He had 32 seats. There's no logic behind it. The world has always produced illogical success. So the challenge here is how to convince the left side of my brain to believe in what the right side of my brain is conceiving. And we all have this challenge. So when somebody defies all these things and achieves something phenomenal in life, we have a word for that. We call it luck. So when somebody achieves disproportionate success, we say, he just got lucky. அவனுக்கு வந்துட்டு எங்கேயோ மச்சம் இருக்கு. மச்சத்தினால பெரிய ஆளா முடியாது. Okay. எனக்கு ஏகப்பட்ட மச்சம் இருக்குது. Okay. Just because you have a mole somewhere, you don't make it in life. But we have a word for that. We always call them as lucky. Somehow in their case, the left side believed in what the right side conceived. Achieving this is called creative visualization. It's science. Now it's an established science. A lot of people have done PhDs. These papers have been written. There's a lot of science that is available where you go through this process where with your right side of the brain, visualize a future that you're visualizing, and the entire creative visualization is done in the present tense. Not as if I will, it's not like one day I will achieve $1 billion organization or one day I will change the world. You visualize as if you've already changed the world. You go through a visualization in the present continuous. You experience the entire thing with positive reinforcements. You go through it with all the 5 senses involved. Listen to it carefully, don't miss these points. Chumma can take you through a process. There's a reason I'm explaining the science behind it. Otherwise, your left brain will not believe in this process. So I'm explaining. Right now I'm talking, your right brain will start. The moment I tell your right brain, close your eyes, I'm going to teach you a process, do this, and it will happen in your life. Right brain will immediately start. Left will say, how is it possible? How suddenly all that is why I started with those two celebrations. Both were cases of transformation. Somebody suddenly decided that this is possible and their left brain believed in it. If you had only got in your 12th force sentence, you would have called it as luck. But if somebody has backed it up with another global second, then you know it's not luck. Then you know it's not luck. All the five senses have to be involved. Why? It has to be in the present continuous. Why? It has to be positive reinforcements. Why? When all these attributes happens in the visualization, your left brain does not know it's visualization. It thinks it's already happened. It shifts the left brain from the disbelief it cannot happen to, oh, it's already happened, is it? Research reveals, if you can visualize a future, whatever that future is, if you can visualize a future once in the present tense, with positive reinforcement through all the five senses, and your left brain did not doubt it even once. Now there is no force on earth that can stop you from that happening in your life. Now the question is no more, will it happen in your life? Now the question is only, by when will it happen in life? It's only a question of time. When I do the visualization once, my left brain will not stop but doubt it. So when I repeatedly do this creative visualization, over a period of time, there is something called mental comfort zone. What is mental comfort zone is? Your left brain gets familiar with this visualization over a period of time. At some stage, when you are repeating this visualization, a point comes when your left brain goes through this entire visualization as if actually it has happened. It's happening without doubting even once. When that happens, you've already created a subconscious framework where 7/8 of your mind goes to work to make it happen. Ivlo science உனக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்காது, but still so many times in your life, that's why whenever you visualize something without a doubt, it was question of time, it actually happened in your life. It actually happened. This is how it happens. So can we visualize something humongous that you want? Maybe about your future, maybe it's about your daughter's wedding, maybe it is about your health, maybe it's about you studying in the best university in the world, maybe it's a new world that you want to visualize, maybe the future of the children that you want to represent. I don't care what it is. It need not be financial. It can be a cause, it can be a purpose, it can be personal, it can be individualistic, it can be corporate, it can be anything. But you visualize something and do it repeatedly till you bring it to a point where you are able to visualize it in a doubtless state. Then 7/8 of your mind takes over that visualization. This is science. This is accepted by all the psychologists. This is accepted by people who have been studying human engineering right through, and there's enough literature that's available you can go through. This is science. What is the spiritual side? Humanly, with your body, only so much is possible. But with your energy, the possibilities are limitless. How do I factor this universal energy to work with me towards what I visualize? So energy can be drawn from existence through various ways, and one of the ways by which energy can be drawn from existence is through Agnya Chakra, the point between your two eyebrows. It's also called as the third eye. It's also called as the Shiva's eye. It's basically Agnya Chakra. It's the chakra of intuition. For example, any period of your life, nobody is eternally in an intuitive state, but all of you would have gone through different periods of your life, or some of you must be going right now that period of life, when there's a lot of energy flow from Agnya Chakra, you become very intuitive. In fact, your language itself becomes like this. Like what you told Shobha Bova. I don't think maths re-exam will happen. You didn't want it to happen. See, this whole CBSE thing itself is like that. Okay. Whoever has done the exam once, right, they don't want re-exam. They don't want re-exam. Whoever has not done well, They feel if they can study more and write this, so they want re-exam. Those of them who believe, how many ever times I write, I'm not going to pass, they are the one who are protesting. I don't want the exam, I don't want the exam. Now we make it look like CBSE problem. So even now, marks come down, they'll say, Engyo CBSE is the problem. So that's what the whole thing is. You go to a shopping mall and you're walking and something tells you you're going to see this person today. And that person is coming. Okay. You're going to a relative's house and you feel the door will be locked. Locked. You feel today I'll get an email. Highest intuition is you expect an email from Atreya, it comes. Highest intuition. Because once in a lifetime possibility it is that you might get an email from Atreya and it comes. It's called intuition. We all go through this intuitive phase. Something is not okay with the body. The medical reports confirm this later. There was no symptom, but it was just an intuitive feel. And you went through. We all go through patches of intuition. And we go through patches of intuition when there's a lot of energy flow from here. So what we do on the spiritual side of this process is we activate Agnya Chakra, open it, and try to draw the entire existential energy into us through the Agnya Chakra and then go into creative visualization. So there are two parts. So we are taking something which is very esoteric from tantric science, merging with something which is absolutely psychological science, put together is Purna Shakti. So we are not just creating a comfort zone for the left side of the brain to believe in what the right side of the brain is visualizing, and thereby get 7/8 of our mental capabilities to work towards it. We are also adding universal energy to it to make it happen. This is all explanation. Simply I'm telling you, trust me, there's nothing more powerful than Purna Shakti. I have seen things happen beyond any logic through Purna Shakti. I stopped teaching Purna Shakti because Purna Shakti was getting abused. People were practicing Purna Shakti to get boyfriend and girlfriend. So I stopped practicing Purna Shakti. But today I feel like doing. Those of you who are watching webcast, if you are in a very casual state of body language, please switch off the webcast and continue with whatever you're doing, or take your body language into something that denotes devotion and reverence. I don't want you to be in any casual state as you go through this process. Those of you here, please close your eyes and just follow the instructions. Shift your entire focus to the point between your two eyebrows. Hold your conscious attention at your Agnya Chakra. And chanting of O, not Om, not Am, just O, activates the Agnya Chakra. So till you hear stop from me for a few minutes, we're all going to chant just O. Inhale and your exhalation will be chanting of just O. Keep your conscious focus on Agnya Chakra and start chanting O. O. Stop. Keep your eyes closed. Hold your conscious attention. Never open your eyes till I finally ask you to open your eyes. Hold your conscious attention in Agnya Chakra and visualize a white, bright light surrounding you. Visualize yourself completely encompassed by white, bright light. You're right in the middle, and all around you is this illuminating light. And let energy from all the directions converge towards your Agni Chakra. Be in a receptive state and visualize that you're drawing the entire existential energy towards you, and it's flowing into you through your Agnya Chakra. Visualize energy gushing from all the directions towards you and filling you through your Agnya Chakra. Let the energy that has created this entire universal abundance now become yours. Let energy from the entire existence flood towards you and flow into you through your Agnya Chakra. Visualize this white, bright light, everything converging towards you. I will not allow any coughing. No coughing. Feel yourself lifted in energy, floating in energy. with this Purna Shakti of existence within you, let's activate 7/8 of your subconscious mind by believing in a future that is abundant, humongous, that you truly deserve. Visualize a future of yours as if it has already happened. Visualize a future of yours in the present. Take one aspect of life, any one aspect, and visualize it in all details. See it, feel the colors, feel the smell, listen to the sound. Do it in all details. Visualize in as much details as possible a future that you truly deserve, as if it has already happened. Live in it. Live into that future. Completely live into that future. Live it now. Guide yourself. See it in as many details as possible. Put emotions into it. Smile, cry, hug. See your loved ones there. See the joy you bring to people. See the joy you feel in your heart. Get all the 5 senses involved. Make it 3-dimensional. Make it present continuous. Live your future in the present. Elongate it and live it in all details. Get as many loved ones as possible into your dream. Go through it as if it's now. Bring emotions to it. Feel it. Experience it with all your heart. Get all the 5 senses involved. Go into the details. See the colors. Feel the fragrance. See what it means to you. What it means to others. Live it now. Dissolve into your dream. the celebration, that it's all happening. Take the visualization to a closure. See the joy, see the celebration, see the fulfillment, see everybody celebrating. And what it means to you, what it means to people who matter to you the most. Take it towards a closure. Yes, 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 yes. Let that Purna Shakti, let the energy of existence and 7/8 of your subconscious work together and make this dream of yours, this visualization of yours true, a reality. Wishing all of you a phenomenal year ahead and a phenomenal life ahead. Loving you so much. Thank you. Whenever you decide to leave, then open your eyes and start leaving. Those of you who want to hold yourself in the state a little longer, hold yourself a little longer in the state and then start leaving.